Hi there everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to make this little shrug. It's done in Tunisian, in a lacy Tunisian stitch. It's not too hard. You do have to focus a little bit initially to get used to the stitch, but once you're used to the stitch it goes pretty quickly, and it's actually made in a long rectangle and then I put it together that way. I've done it in these colors. You can do any color that you like. It's actually done, it came out like this because this is the rectangle part over here. So I did it in stripes, but this is the way it turned out just because of the way I did the stripes. I didn't do them equal, I just did different stripes. So that's what it looks like. You can do it in different sizes. It fits my daughters and it fits me. It's not, I suppose it's a medium large, not really one size fits all, but it could be one size fits all. But if you make it bigger, you're going to just have to make your, if you're adding extra stitches on, you must make the length longer. That's to what I've got, and I do tell you how long mine is. So that's really all you need to know. If you're making it wider, and you can kind of measure your own, then make sure that you make the length longer as well, just the way we put it together. But yeah, that's basically it. I'll show you a little bit closer. And I haven't done a border on here. In the video I did say if you want to do the same border as what I have here, you can do it, but I actually haven't put it on here. I'm not sure that I want to put it on. I might not, so if you want to you can, but otherwise it's great just like this. So yeah, that's basically all that you need to know. Can't think of anything else, so yeah, let's get started. So to start this project, this is what it looks like close up. It's a really pretty stitch, very lacy, which is what I want. It looks like from a little bit closer. It's not too stretchy. I mean, it's stretchy, but it's not over stretchy, so it's not going to stretch out. It's a nice kind of fabric, and yeah, that's really what it looks like. Now what I've done is I've used a size 6mm Tunisian or Afghan hook. It's a 6mm, which is a J or 10. And it's one of the longer ones. Now I don't have an end to mine. Now they do come where they have a stopper. Yes, I've just put this here to stop my work going off. I just ripped some, not the best way to do it. If you can get one with a stopper, that's great, but I didn't have one with a stopper in this size, so that's what I'm using. Now the yarn that I'm using, it's cotton. I got this from Hobby Lobby. Now this is where I got it from Hobby Lobby, and this is where it might be a problem if you can't get it. It says it's a number 8 crochet cotton, and yeah, I don't really know what else to say about it. It says it's a number 8, and if you can't get this specific one, it's not an issue. You can get anything, but you want your needle, your hook, to be a lot bigger. And you see, they don't actually tell me what size hook to use, so yeah, they don't tell you what size hook, but this is a much bigger hook than what this cotton actually needs. And the reason I did that is because I want this to be really lacy. And if you're going with a hook that's not a 6, if you went with a 4, you're not going to get it quite as lacy. And you can see if this is too lacy for you, you could go with a different size hook. So really that's all that you want to do, is get it to where it's nice for you. Now in the beginning it looks like it's far too big. I'm like, gosh, this looks really big, but it's not really. It just looks like your needle your hook is making this too lacy, but it's not. It works out well. So anyway, that's what you use, and as I say, it's just called Artiste crochet cotton, and it's number 8. So if you can get that, that's great. Then yours will be exactly the same as mine. But if you can't, it's anyway. So I'm going to show you how to do this project. It's not the easiest stitch if you're not familiar with Tunisian. This is the first time I've crocheted a hat in Tunisian, and that's it, just in the plain simple stitch. But this is the first time I'm ever doing this, and it was just initially it was a bit of a challenge. But now that I've got this far, it's easy. I'm just whizzing through it now. I've learned my 2 rows, and I know how to do them. So bear with this project. Don't give it up because it looks like it's too hard. If you want to have this stick to it, I'll show you, it's easy. I've had to go buy a book with a pattern, and that was a little more harder, but I'm going to show you on here how to do it, and then you should whiz through this. Once you know your 2 rows, that's all that you're repeating. So I'm going to show you how to make this. So what I want to do is show you the first 2 rows that we're going to be doing, and then after that the next 2 rows you'll just be doing continually. So this one is slightly different, not majorly so, but just a little bit different. So what you have to do is you've got to have multiples of 15. I've got 30, and then you have to add on 3, so I've got 33. So if you're going with 15, 30, 45, however you want to do it, just make sure that you have your multiple and then add an extra 3 stitches on. So for the sample I'm doing 33, but for my actual garment I did 93 stitches. So I had a multiple of 90 and then I added on 3. So this is just a sample, so I've just got a small one here. So however many you want to put on, that's up to you. So what you're going to do for your very first, what you have to know is that we're using Tunisian treble stitch and Tunisian double stitch. Those are the 2 different stitches that we are using. And I'll show you how to do them, so don't worry if you don't know how. I'll show you as we go along. So what you're going to do, so now to do your actual stitch, you're going to, as I said, we're using the Tunisian treble stitch and the double stitch. So our first 2 rows are a little bit different to the 2 rows that you will be repeating. So I'm going to do this, the first 2 rows with you to get you started. Alright, so what you're going to do is wrap your yarn around twice, and then you're skipping the first, you're going into the 3rd stitch from your hook. So that's number 1, 2, and that's number 3. So yarn around your hook twice, and you go into this stitch over here, and you're going to bring up a loop. Then you're going to go through 2 loops, and go through 2 loops. And this is actually your Tunisian treble stitch that we've just done. Okay, now you're going to skip 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches. I've made these very loose like this so you can see. And you're going to go into your 5th chain. Okay, yarn around once. This is actually your double stitch. And you're going to go into, oops, now I've just lost it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're going to go into this 5th chain. Your first row is usually a little bit tricky. Go through and then go through once. Go through 2, but just one time. Now you're going to go into the next one. Yarn over, go into your next stitch, pull up a loop, and go through 2 loops. Okay, this is your double stitch. That's 1, 2. You're going to do 5 of these. Yarn over, into the next stitch, bring up a loop, and go through 2. Okay, that's 3. Same thing, yarn over, go into the next chain, bring up a loop, and go through 2. Okay, and that is 4. 1 more. Yarn over, go into your next chain, bring up a loop, and then go through 2. Okay, so you've done a treble now, and you've done a double. Very easy. Now you're going to skip the next 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and go into your 5th chain. It is a little tricky to see, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to do our treble again. Yarn over twice, go into that 5th one, bring up a loop, and now you've got to go through 2 and go through 2. Okay, do it again. Yarn over twice, go into your next loop, bring up a loop, go through 2 and go through 2. And as you see, this is the row where you keep all your stitches on. You don't take them off. Okay, now you're going to skip 1, 2, 3, 4, go into your 5th chain, and we're going to do the same thing. Yarn over and just do our doubles. Bring up a loop and go through 2. That's number 1. Next one, to the next stitch, yarn over, bring up a loop and go through 2. That's number 2. Yarn over into your next stitch, bring up a loop and go through 2. Number 3, next one, yarn over into the next stitch, bring through 2. That's number 4. 1 more, yarn over, go into your next stitch, bring up a loop and go through 2, and now you got your 5. Okay, and now you're going to skip again. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to go into number 5 with your trebles. Yarn over twice, go into that stitch, bring up a loop, go through 2 and go through 2. Okay, and 1 more time into your last stitch. Yarn over twice. As I say, this is your treble you're doing. Go into there, bring up a loop, go through 2 and go through 2. Alright, that's your very first row. And then you just repeat that. If you've got more stitches, you just keep doing what I did. Okay, that's your very first row. Now with our next row, we're taking all the stitches off. So, as I say, these first 2 rows are not the pattern you'll be using. It's very similar, but these are just your beginning 2 rows. So, now for this one, you're going to chain 1. So you just chain 1. Okay, then you're going to yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Pull through 2 loops on the hook and pull through 2 loops. Okay, alright, so now for your next 4 stitches, you're going to chain 1, bring your yarn over and bring it through. That's 1 time. Okay, chain 1 and bring through 2. That's 2. Chain 1, bring through 2. That's 3. Chain 1, bring through 2. That's 4. Okay, so you do that 4 times, and as you can see, it's over those over there. That you do 4 times. Then you're going to yarn over and just pull through 2 1 time, yarn over, pull through 2 2 times, yarn over, pull through 2 3 times. Okay, so you did the chain in between these ones for 4 times. Here you just pull through 3. Now you're doing the same thing. Chain 1, go through 2. That's number 1. Chain 1, go through 2. That's number 2. Chain 1, go through 2. That's number 3. And then chain 1, go through 2, and that's number 4. Okay, then you're just going to go through these, go through 2 and go through 2. Okay, now that's your beginning 2 rows, and I've done that totally with you. As I say, if you have more, you would just keep doing that, repeating that over and over. You had your beginning part is chain 1, go through 2, go through 2. Okay, and then you do chain 1, go through 2, chain 1, go through 2, chain 1, go through 2, chain 1, go through 2 4 times, and then just go through 2 3 times, 2 2 2, and then do your chain 1 again. And that's giving you your real basic part here. Now the next 2 rows that I'll show you is what you're going to be doing over and over, and I'm going to show that to you now. So now for your next 2 rows, as I say, this is what you're going to repeat. Chain 2, okay, double over your yarn, twice over your yarn. Now you never go into that first loop, you're going to go into this one, but you're going into it as if it's a knit. So you're going to go into the middle of that and go right through. Okay, so you're going into the middle of that vertical bar, but just go right through, and then you're going to bring up a loop. You're going to go through 2 and go through 2. Okay, that's your beginning. Now what you're going to do is you're going to yarn over. Now you're going to go into the third 1. These are the 5 that we did. So you're going to go 1 2 into this third one. So it's really the middle one. You're going to do your 5, but all in the same place. Okay, so you're going to go into there like a knit stitch, bring a yarn through and go through 1. Now that's number 1. Okay, yarn over, same place. That's number 2. And go through 2. Okay, yarn over, go into the same spot, bring up a loop and go through 2. That's number 3. So the only difference that we're doing is we're not doing it in an individual stitch, we're doing it in the one. Yarn over into the same loop, bring up a stitch and go through 2. And that's only 4 there, so I need to do 1 more. Yarn over, go into the same space, bring up a loop and go through 2. Okay, so now we've just done that piece, and this, as I said, you're going to be repeating these rows over this one and the other one that I've shown. Okay, so we've got those 5 in. Now you're going to do your treble. So yarn over twice, and these are the 2 stitches that you're going to be using now. These 2. That's from your little cluster. These are the 2. So now you're going to go in here like a knit stitch. So you're going to go in there and through the back. Okay, bring your loop up, go through 2 and go through 2. That's your treble. Okay, now you're going to do that again. Yarn over twice, there's your next one, and you can see that's your vertical bar, which you could have gone in this way, but you're not. You're just going to go through the middle of it to the back. Okay, bring up a loop, go through 2 and go through 2, and that's what it looks like. Now you're going to do the same thing here as you did over there. Yarn over, find your third one. This is your first one. You can see that's where you worked 1, 2, this is number 3. Go into the middle of that stitch and go through the back, bring up a loop, go through 2, and that's number 1. Yarn over, go in the same spot, bring up a loop and go through 2. That's number 1. That's number 2. Same thing, yarn over in the same space, bring up a loop and go through 2. That's number 3. It's all in the same space. Yarn over, go in that same space, bring up a loop and go through 2. That's number 4, and then last one, number 5. Okay, so this is what it should be looking like now. We've got those there, these 2, and then you've just done 5. Now we've got our trebles again, which are over there. The 1. See, this is still part of that. There's the 1, and I'm going to go into the last one. Okay, so don't get confused with them. This is your 5. You have to stretch it out a bit. That's 1, and there's my end one. Okay, so you're going to yarn over twice. Now that's not the one that you want. That's part of your 5. This is the one you want. Go in there, go through the back, yarn over, bring up a loop and go through 2 and go through 2. Okay, and then in your last one, yarn over twice. You're doing the same thing. This one's a little tricky. You just got to find where your horizontal bar would be, and I can see it will be over here, and you go through these 2. Okay, yarn over, bring up a loop, go through 2 and go through 2. Okay, so that's the beginning and end of these 2 rows. Okay, that's what you really have to pay attention to, is the beginning and the end, because they're slightly different. Okay, and this is the same as the previous row. You're going to chain 1, go through 2, go through 2. Okay, now for these, the next 4, it was chain 1, go through 2, that was number 1. Chain 1, go through 2, that's number 2. Chain 1, go through 2, that's number 3. Chain 1, go through 2, that's number 4. Okay, then the next 3 was just going through 2. Go through 2, that's 1, that's 2, and that's 3. Okay, then for the next 4, chain 1, go through 2, that's 1. Chain 1, go through 2, that's 2. Chain 1, go through 2, that's 3. Chain 1, go through 2, that's 4. And then your last 3 stitches, you go through 2 and you go through 2, and that's all that you're going to repeat. Those the 2 rows that I just did now, you're going to do those over and over, and that's going to give you your stitch. Yeah, you just keep repeating those 2 rows. Watch the video again and do it with me as I go. Even if you start off by just doing a few like this with 33 stitches and just practice till you know the stitch, you will be able to do it without the pattern. You'll be able to do these stitches. I can now do it without even looking. You know, it's just one of those. To start with this row, you have to chain 2 again, like we did. Chain 2, wrap your yarn around twice, and then you're going to go into this one. Okay, and you go in the middle, go through, bring up a loop, go through 2, and go through 2. So it's really knowing your beginning and ends pretty well that help you as well. And then you go into your 3rd one. So let me see if I can show you where the stitches actually are. Maybe it will help you a little bit. Okay, so you can see these 2 are the trebles, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are the 5 little cluster ones, and you got to count 1, 2, 3. There's your middle one. That's the one that you would go into. And remember, you still got 2, and then you've got your 2 trebles here. At the end, it's a little bit harder to see them because you've got 1, 2, 3. There's your 3rd, but then you've still got those 2. So this is your end, and this is your end here. There's your other bar. They are a little tricky to see, but you would go into this vertical bar here, and then I go in here. You go there, but you also want to go in the back of the same stitch. And if you know Tunisian, you have to go into 2. Well, you don't have to. I mean, you could just go into that one if it's easier for you, but I go into there and there. So you're looking at that. That's what you want for your end. Then your 2 ends are more or less the same. But yeah, so that's basically what you do. I'll probably come back and show you a little bit more as I go. I'm just doing my colors as I go at the moment. You know, I'm not sure which colors I'm going to be trading with and how I'm doing it, so you'll see the end result. But anyway, keep doing that and just go up as long as you want, and I'll meet you back here again. Alright, so I thought I'd just show you how to change your color. You can kind of do your own design when you're doing this. I've just done mine in different, I haven't done mine in specific amounts. I did all of these varied. You know, I started off with 2 patterns with the black, and when I say 2 patterns, it means going there and coming back. And then, like with this one, I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows, 1 in the black, and then this one's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 rows, and then I did 1 in the black, and this one's got, gosh, at least 13, 1 in the black. I did do, this one's got 2 in the black. So just play with yours as you want to do yours. You know, as I say, I just did mine very varied. I just thought I would show you how to change your color. Now, I'm changing my color on the very first, on the row that I'm actually going there. So all you do is you take your new color, and there's nothing much to this. Just hold it a little piece like this, and just hold it on this side, and then just start working, you know. So all you're doing is you're holding this with the black, and you leave your black here. See, so you just hold that piece like that with its little tail there, and just start working. 1, and this isn't going to go anywhere. You'll have to pull it a little bit to make it tighter, and you start off with 2 chain. So it's 1, 2, and then wrap it around twice. Now you don't go into your first stitch, you go into this one and go through 2, go through 2, and that's it. Now into the third one, so 1, 2, 3, into this third one. So there's the first, 2, 3, and you're going in this way and under, and you're going to go through 1, go again. These are just 5 double crochets in that same space. Number 4, just going through 2, and then number 5. Okay, so you did 5 of those in here. Then you skip these and you're going to go to these trebles over there. And you're going to wrap your yarn around twice, and you go into this one. And you go through 2, but you wrapped your yarn around twice, and then into this next treble one 2 times, and then wrap around once, and you're going to go 5 into the third one. There's the third one, and you do 5 double crochets. 1, well, it's not really a double crochet. 1, 2, just wrap your yarn around, go in and bring up a loop. I just kind of think it is, but it's not. So you just wrap a yarn around, go in the same place, and you're going to do 5 of these. Yarn around into the space, bring up a loop, and go through. And you should have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is all that you're doing. Then you're going to wrap around twice and go into this that was wrapped around twice, and go through 2 times. In there, and 2 times, and that's all that you're going to do all the way to the end. So that's all that you're doing when you add your color on. And then when you get to the end, you just go through like I showed you on the previous. I just wanted to show you how you're joining your yarn, and then we'll just sew it in at the end. So that's basically it. So, alright, so what we're wanting to do now, because I've come to the end of mine, and Alright, so my length is about 60 inches. So from the one end to the other end is about 60 inches. Now you might want yours slightly longer, but 60 inches is actually pretty good. So now what I want to do is, this is the top part. What I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to go all the way around. Now I'm going to be crocheting, so far I'm going to be crocheting for this round. I'm going to go this way, all the way along the side, till I get to the end part again, and then I'm going to come along here and I'm going to go all the way up the other side. So I'm going to do one whole border. I'm trying to get it where it's straight. See, we have a bit of a kink here, so what I'm wanting to do is to make this straight all the way down. So this side is going to be slightly different to the other end, because this end is where we started off and it's slightly different. So just bear with me. I'm going to do the top part and then we're going to go over here and over here. So where it's different, you'll just have to do yours differently as well. So what I'm saying is it's not going to be uniform in sense of double crochet all the way around. This is going to be slightly different.